share and when you should give to other women. And I really love the knowledge use that women do. Like I always laugh, I don't know how it is in your countries, but it's probably the same, like in academia where I work. If you cite somebody, you always cite that same person. But when you have cooking notes, like if I make a cake and I took it from Aura, in my notebook it will say Aura's banana cake. And if Debbie takes my cake, in her book it would be Ronit's banana cake. So the knowledge is spreading. It's not staying with one specific person. So should the students share their knowledge and not get any credit for their knowledge? So these are the dilemmas that women working in the field are struggling with the whole time. And what we tried to develop was a way of thinking of working with a paradox, not ignoring these dilemmas, not making decisions to one pole or another, but rather sort of trying to keep the dilemma and work with it. So two organizations I'm working with, this is the Women's Film Festival, and this is Studio of Our Own for religious Orthodox women in Jerusalem. So for example, this was initiated by one of my students. It's for Orthodox Jewish women, and we always had this dilemma, should it be only for Orthodox Jewish women? What about the Muslim women? Shouldn't they be a part of this group? But then the Jewish women say, but we need our own space, we need our own place, but this is exclusive of other women. So one way, for example, of tackling this paradox was that we're now initiating a lot of projects that are collaborative projects between religious Muslim women and this group of Studio of Our Own. But a lot of times we were struggling with the question. This Women's Film Festival, the municipality in which it was run, they didn't like this poster. They didn't want us to put this poster. They thought it was an aesthetic. They thought it seemed non-religious or something, and they banned the poster. Should we agree to this and have the film festival and put a poster that they agree with? Should we say, this is our poster, we don't care, don't give us the funding for the film festival? Okay, so these are part of the things we're struggling with this whole time. And because this was a session on businesses, I want to also share with you a dilemma in the private sector that a lot of time arises. This is an organization of fashion in Israel, a leading one, Comme il faut, and they make a lot of money and they do very nice design, and they do a lot of feminist commercials, which are beautiful commercials. For example, the women eating campaign, women are allowed to eat whatever they want, open big mouths, eat in public, it's fine, it's okay. So they had this. Women are allowed to grow older and still look good and still be dressed. Women can network, not only men, and they have relationship, and they can also use their networks for business benefits. Women are not, this was about women's works being transparent. So women can work and we can give visibility to their work. It's not, doesn't have to stay transparent. But this organization sells every shirt or skirt for so much money that most women cannot buy the clothing of this firm from their own salaries. Only women, most of the women, I guess, that buy there are married to rich men. So are they making bad use of feminism for sales? Are they actually making good use of their money to change the way people are thinking about the world? I can't give you a correct answer about this dilemma. So me and my two other students who are now finished their PhDs, who are working with me in this developing this course, we tried to think about this paradoxical frame and how we should keep talking to our students about these paradoxes and have them make every decision they have to make still thinking about these paradoxical frames. And we thought that paradoxes, they encourage dynamic multiplicity of thoughts and action. They allow to restructure and shift and change all the time, because if we keep looking for the balance, we're changing the way that we're doing things. We might not be solving our problems, but we keep working with these tensions. We were worried about the stuckness, because a lot of times when there's these contradictions, people feel they're stuck. And our idea was how you could keep moving without becoming stuck, although you could see the paradox at every moment. It's something very related to Eastern theories and Eastern thinking. It's less in sync with Western thinking, but how can we keep working without being paralyzed by the dilemmas, but still being engaged and still moving forward? So this is some of the balancing acts, you know, that Indian women and other women around the world have to do. And we thought that by holding on to the tension between theory, as I said before, and practice, by holding on to the tension between different hierarchies, between different power relations, this can actually be very creative. People can think of new ideas. We can think of new suggestions of how we can actually do things. We also thought that women a lot of times are accused of not being good leaders because they're not able to make decisions, because they're not thinking in a linear way, because they're not thinking hierarchically, because they're thinking more circular, because they're not, you know, saying this is the way it should be done. But if we're thinking in a paradoxical frame, which today, if you read the leadership literature, HBR, Harvard Business School, all the different Academy of Management, they're all talking about the new age of leadership as paradoxical leadership. So actually in that sense, maybe this circular, non-decisive way of managing things might also make women feel that they know how to do this, that they can lead, and that in order to lead, you don't have to make choices between dilemmas the whole time, but rather you have to hold on to this, embrace it, and see how you can work with it over time. Just a few closing notes. First of all, we worked as a team, and one of the things that always interested us was our different backgrounds. So we always taught this course, this practice course, as two women. We were always different, so one could be straight and one lesbian, one could be religious and one could be secular, one could be a man and one a woman. We always tried to work on our differences and bring them into the class and not say there's one correct answer to the way that things could be done. We wrote about being fruitfully uncomfortable. Okay, so we tried to make each other uncomfortable, not being the whole time in a very comfortable, balanced, way, but actually really to challenge each other with the students within the class. But we also tried to build a safe space for the women in the class to explore, to think, for us to, critique things, rethink things, critique the organizations the women were doing. For example, like if a woman would be in your organization, we would probably talk in the classroom about critiques we would have, about dilemmas, about what it means to come from Canada to Ecuador to Rajasthan. And we would be debating this within the classroom and rethinking this. What would it mean to do the research that you tried to do in Rajasthan versus an Indian woman or man doing the same research, and what's the meaning of that, etc. So we tried to build this paradoxical laboratory for these ideas. And I want to end with the song of Yehuda Amichai, who's a very famous Israeli poet, who wrote that a place where we are right is hard and trampled like a yard, but doubts and loves dig up the world like a mole, a plow. So this is our perspective about how we think feminist and social activism and stewardship should be done. I also hope to rethink what I'm doing the whole time and keep this paradoxical, playful frame of thinking. Thank you. So should we open up for questions, or do you want to talk and then we'll take... Is your topic related?
Yes.
So maybe you should talk, and then if it's related, we can have a discussion together.
Okay, I won't speak a lot. When I wanted to present, I wanted to speak about the new value, changing the value of money. So my name is Gabriela. I'm coming from Bulgaria, and I'm one of the founders of Impact Hub Sofia. Maybe some of you know what Impact Hub is. But I will tell for the others who don't. Impact Hub is a network of locations all over the world. It's like a co-working space, a place where people gathered and create positive impact on society, on the environment. So I want to say some experience I had just before that. I have been working like with social business and social entrepreneurship for like 6-7 years now. And I have been involved in one startup like 2 years ago. In Bulgaria, it's very now it's very developed. The entrepreneurship, there are like funds that are financing lots of entrepreneurial projects. So I have been in one startup like this. It was called Teach Me, and it was a time bank platform where people were exchanging different knowledge that they have or different expertise. You exchange, you don't give money, you give your time to somebody else. So we had this kind of, let's say, an argument with the other co-founder, because he wanted, of course, we both wanted to change the world, but he was thinking that money should disappear from Earth and we should just exchange time, and that money are evil, let's say it like this. It's connected with the paradox you were saying about I wasn't feeling quite good during our work together, because I didn't believe so much. I don't know why. I didn't believe that we should get rid of the money. I was thinking that if we want to change the world, it has to be with some kind of it's a process. It's a transition. It's a slow transition. You cannot just remove them completely. So. More what I was thinking, actually, and then I decided to stop with this project, was that we have not to get rid of money, but we have to change the value we are putting in money. We have to ask ourselves, when we are giving money and when we are giving salaries, for example, for the managers out there, when we are giving salaries, why are we giving money for these people or for these services? Is it making the world some better place, let's say, more idealistically? So that's why I decided, to stop wanting to change completely, this more, how to say, activist thing, which is one way or the other. I also believe in balance between business and social, between doing business and being responsible, let's say, being impactful, bringing positive impact on the world. And at the same time, balance is actually paradox at the same time. Because, for example, we have also this kind of question. Now, the Impact Hub is working with lots of businesses. Our main reason is to make the business more social, to make them more, to increase their positive impact, more changing the mindset of the business. Not only do some corporate social responsibility thing and give some charity, no, just changing the mindset of the people. And we have also this question arising. Now we want to work with